All right, Mrs. V here. We're going to do some scientific notation notes. So make sure you've gone into your Google Classroom. You found your assignment titled Scientific Notation Notes, and you've clicked on here so you can start taking your notes. Again, I'll give you an essential question, and we'll do a summary at the end before you turn them into this assignment. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. All right, scientific notation. So what is it? So our essential question is simply, what is scientific notation? Sounds weird. I know you guys haven't seen it since Math 1, the first semester maybe. So let's just go over it. Okay. So scientific notation is a short way to write very large or very small numbers. So I will tell you, scientists, get a little lazy. We don't want to write that much stuff. We don't want to write that many zeros in the front or in the back. Okay. Plus also then it gets hard figuring out all those significant numbers if they're big and large. Okay. So our notation rules, these are our rules. The basic equation we're going to use is big M times 10 to the little n. And M is any number between 1 and 9. We do not put anything smaller than 1, and we do not put anything bigger than 9. The little n is the number of times the decimal moves. It can be negative or positive. So we will definitely figure that out. So powers are based on the standard number. So this little n is based on what we call our standard number, which is just a regular number. It's a fancy word for saying regular number. So positive means, if you think about it, thumbs up. It means the number is larger than 1. If you have a positive power or positive little n, and a negative little n means thumbs down. Number is less than 1. Okay? We'll practice this. Don't you worry. Okay, some examples. Here's standard to scientific. So standard is a regular number. I know. Just blew your mind. So number 1, 323,000. This is a standard number. And M is going to be between 1 and 9. So the decimal place starts way out here. We don't see it, but it's there. And so we need to move it to a number between 1 and 9. So we have to move it all the way between this 3 and 2. Here, that would not, 32.3, not between 1 and 9. So we move it here in between the 3 and the 2, 3.23, yes, between 1 and 9. So that means we have to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So n is going to equal 5. And then we have to go, use your thumb, get it out, stretch it out, stretch that thumb out. So because this standard number is positive or is bigger than 1, our thumb goes up and our 5 is positive. Positive as larger than 1. So when we write it, it's 3.23 times 10 to the 5th. Here's our second example, 100.4. Again, 100, not between 1 and 9. So we have to fix it. And we move our decimal point here, we get to see our decimal point. So we got to make it between 1 and 9. If we move it here, we have 10. Not between 1 and 9. So we got to move it again and put it here. And so if we get 1.004, yes, ha-ha, ding, 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 between 1 and 9. How many times did I move it? 1, 2. So my n is going to equal 2. My little n will equal 2. Then I look at it. Okay, is it bigger than 1? Thumbs up. Smaller than 1? Thumbs down. So it is bigger than 1. So we have a thumbs up. We'll have a positive power. So now we write the whole thing, 1.004 times 10 to the second. Okay, now let's go from notation to standard. Okay, and here we go. Our first one is going to be a positive one. So we have a notation, 5.67 times 10 to the 5th. N equals 5, right? It is larger than 1, so it's thumbs up. which means we're going to move it to the right. It's going to get bigger. If we have a thumbs up, we have a positive. That number's got to get bigger. So if we move it 5 times from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 567,000. Here we have a negative 1. And let's look at same number, 5.67 times 10 to the negative 5th. What would we do? So negative means thumbs down. It means it's smaller than 1. If we moved it this way, we get numbers bigger than 1. So we're going to need to move it to the left. And the end it goes negative 5, so we're going to need to move it to the left. So it starts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We fill in with zeros. And so our number becomes 0.123400567. Those of you that are a little better at math, you might be able to see that you add 1 less in the zeros in front of the numbers and then put a decimal point. Those of you that don't see that, just go ahead and do your loops and add your zeros. Okay. All right, that's the end of our notes. Those were fun. Woohoo! Oh, we love scientific notation, Mrs. V. So go back and go process your notes. You're going to highlight any important information and underline vocabulary words or unknown words. You're going to write any connections you may have to the notes. Maybe you remember Math 1. Maybe. In the left-hand column, you're going to use your processing and connections to write a 3 to 5 sentence summary of the notes. And then once you're done, you're going to go back to Google Classroom. You're going to put your completed notes with your summary and your highlights and your underlines and all your connections. And you're going to attach it to Google Classroom assignment and press that turn-in button. Okay? Once I have stamped it, I will return it and you will create a link in your notebook. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Bye.